Hi, it's Walter Burns from Keller Williams City Life Realty and livingonthehudson.com for this week's Living on the Hudson weekly recap. Taking a look at the Hudson County real estate market in the past week, there have been 103 properties that have gone under contract in the Hudson County MLS. That is up from last week. Last week it was 84. So as I mentioned in last week's video, the week leading into 4th of July is traditionally one of the slower weeks of the year. So now sales have come back up, looking at 103 properties going under contract in the past week. These properties had an average list price of $719,800. Last week it was $770. So we're down on the average price. Median list price was $699,000. Last week it was $675,000. So median price is up slightly. Days on market. These properties averaged 28 days in the market, and the median days in the market was about 22 days. So that's less than a month on average. Last week it was 31 was the average days on market, and 19 for the median. So time on the market is about the same. Taking a look at some of the properties that recently went under contract in Hoboken. So this is not like a condominium. This is actually a home, but it's in Willow Terrace, which is basically on Willow Ave and Clinton Street between 7th and 8th. This is 33 Willow Terrace, a very modern home. Willow Terrace was built in the early 1900s or late 1800s. There's about 100 or so homes that are there. I believe it was built by the Stevens family who developed the university, and this is where some people who worked at the college lived. But these homes have gotten popular in the last few years where people have been buying them up, renovating them. So this property here, which is across from Acme Supermarket on Clinton Street, is very recognizable. I believe it was owned by an architect at one point who developed it into the modern look that it is. So this was in the market, and I saw this list, and I said this is going to go pretty quick, and it did. It listed for 33 Willow Terrace, $1.8 million, so $1.8 million on the market a week, 3-bed, 2-bath, single family home. So this is not a condominium; it's a single family. Willow Terrace, only Willow Terrace residents are allowed to park on the Willow Terrace cobblestone streets. This property did come with a garage though. So we'll just take a look at the photos. And it also had a roof deck, which I'll cycle up to. So it's a small outdoor area in the back. And then upstairs was the roof area. They had one terrace, and then there's another one here. And then you also have the garage as well that the unit comes with. I don't have photos of that, but it did come with a garage, and that listed for $1.8 million under contract in a week. Also in Hoboken, let's see, 600 Hudson Street. This is the Union Club building on the corner of 6th and Hudson. I believe it was a former like hotel / social club that was developed into condominiums back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So this is 600 Hudson Street, Unit 2C, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1375 square feet, listed for $1,280,000. So this is the building, the Union Club, on the corner of 6th and Hudson, not too far from Stevens Institute of Technology. And it looks like this unit also had a patio. And it was updated, and that has gone under contract, listed for $1,280,000 over at 600 Hudson Street. Looking in downtown Jersey City, at the A building, 389 Washington Street, the A condominiums, Unit 21A, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,100 square feet, on the market 28 days, listed for $1,079,000. It also came with parking for one car. This building is located at 389 Washington Street, not far from Grove Street Path, and also not too far from Exchange Place Path. Developed in around 2005, 2006. Building is made up of mostly 1- and 2-bedroom layouts. This particular layout I believe, faces south. So it's a corner unit on the southwest corner of the building. So looking towards Grove Street. Building has a 24-hour concierge. They have a on-site fitness center, a residence lounge. They also have an outdoor barbecue/sun deck area, which is on the 7th floor, I believe. It's the roof of the parking deck. So they developed that into an outdoor space, communal space. Also, many of the units do come with parking in the building. And this corner unit, 2-bedroom, listed for $1,079,000 at the A, has gone under contract, 28 days on the market. Not far from the A building, you have 10 Provost Street, unit 801, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,012 square feet, listed for $1,160,000 on the market, 22 days. Also came with parking for 1 car. This was developed by Toll Brothers around 2018. High-rise building located in the Powerhouse Arts District in downtown Jersey City. Toll Brothers has developed several buildings in that location, the newest one being 151 Bay Street, very similar to this building. The major differences between 151 Bay and 10 Provost are the design, the kitchen, the flooring. It's a newer building, so it has a slightly newer finishes to it. But very similar buildings. Concierge, 24-hour concierge. They have a sky lounge on the top floor, large fitness center, outdoor pool area, residence lounge area. So this unit under contract at 10 Provost. Looks like it also had outdoor space. And that listed for $1,160,000 over at 10 Provost Street. And all these buildings I'm discussing will be linked down below from my website, Living on the Hudson, where you could check out other units that may have be available or that have recently sold in the community. In this immediate area is also 88 Morgan Street. This was a 4th floor unit, 88 Morgan, a 56-story high-rise on the corner of Montgomery and Washington. On the corner of Morgan and Washington. And this was originally the Trump Plaza building that was renamed 88 Morgan Street, unit 404, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,599 square feet, listed for $1,390,000 on the market for 5 days. 24-hour concierge building, large level of amenities. They have an outdoor pool, they have a fitness center, large residence lounge, business center area. They have an indoor hot tub spa area. So it's a very amenity-driven building. Most of the layouts in the buildings are 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom layouts. The 3 bedrooms tend to be on the penthouse level, which is floors 50 to 56, or on the lower floors under like the 7th floor, because the layouts between 2 and 6 are very different. Because the parking deck is on that floor. So this is the outside, basically the perimeter of the parking deck is where many of the larger units were put. There's also different layouts though, studio, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom on those levels as well. But between floors like 8 and 49, they're mostly 1 and 2-bedroom layouts. But here you have a 3-bedroom on the 4th floor. This was a south-facing unit. Looks like it was on the corner as well. Facing Washington. And this building was built around 2006. There's a second tower, which is a rental building. So the east tower over here, which is you can only rent in this building, and then the west tower is the condominium tower of 88 Morgan. And that's under contract, listed for $1,390,000 on the market for 5 days. Moving a little further north, up in North Bergen at the Watermark. This is 8100 River Road, unit 612, 2-bed, 2-bath, 980 square feet, 980,000. This is 1,523 square feet on the market, 26 days. Also came up parking for 2 cars. So this is at the Watermark building, 8100 River Road. Basically, the building's on the border of Edgewater and North Bergen. It is in Edgewater. It's also located right next to the Rock Harbor Townhomes, which is a townhome community in North Bergen. And this was a south-facing unit here. So it did have a southern Midtown Manhattan view looking south, overlooking Rock Harbor. Building, it has a concierge and a doorman. It's a 24-hour doorman, concierge doorman, on-site fitness center, residence lounge. They have both an indoor pool and an outdoor pool. So it's a very high amenity-driven building, developed by WCI Communities around 2006, 2007 or so. And this has gone under contract at the Watermark, listed for $980,000. And when these properties close, I'll be happy to report back on what they ended up selling for. Just taking a quick peek here. In a couple of the sold units, over in Bulls Ferry, Jacobs Ferry, you had, these are properties that recently sold in the past week. 132 Abbey Court. This is a 2-bed, 2.5-bath, 1,482 square foot townhome located in Bulls Ferry. List price was $910. It sold for $915. So it sold $5,000 over asking, 9 days on the market. I discussed this community in the past. This was developed by K. Avnanian, starting in like the early 90s and ending around 2000. There's over 10 different layouts in this community of different style townhomes. This is one of the 2-bedroom layouts that exist. All the properties here come with parking for 2 cars. You have a driveway spot and a garage spot. The community has 2 outdoor pools. The shuttle to the ferry also passes through the complex. There's also a children's play area, and it's located on the water. It occupies both West New York and Guttenberg. About 70% of the community is in West New York, around 30% in Guttenberg. This property is on the Guttenberg side of the community. You would not know the difference if you're going from the Guttenberg side to the West New York side. Basically, it all looks the same. It looks like this unit was updated. And this is sold over at Bulls Ferry for $915,000, 2-bed, 2.5-bath. In Hoboken, at the Wonder Lofts, this is 720 Clinton Street, unit 202. 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,237 square feet. This was listed for $1,599,000. It sold for $1.6 million in 13 days on the market. Looks like it was a cash purchase. The Wonder Lofts, actually 2 separate buildings. You have a building on Clinton Street and also a building on 2 buildings on Clinton Street, basically on 7th and Clinton. And this building is in the, I believe this is in the newer building on. This is in the original building, the Wonder, where the Wonder Bread Factory was on Clinton Street. This was developed around 2018, 2019. 24-hour concierge building. They have an outdoor pool. I believe all the units come with some form of outdoor space. Every single property was given some form of outdoor space. Most of the units come with parking. And you can see here, this one has the rooftop area. There's an on-site fitness center. I believe there's a children's play area, residence lounge, and an outdoor pool. And you can see here, yep, this is 720 Clinton Street. So they took the old Wonder Bread Factory, which is the red brick, developed it into condos. They also added an extension on top of it. So the gray part is an addition, and this is on the corner of 8th and Clinton, right next to Hoboken High School. Century located in Hoboken, and this sold for $1,600,000 over at the Wonder Lofts. In the Harborside Lofts, up at 1500 Garden Street, this is developed by Toll Brothers around 2008. This is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,479 square foot loft condo, listed for $1,700,000 on the market 38 days. It sold for $1,625,000. Also came with parking for 1 car. So this property sold under asking. Here's the Harborside Lofts on 15th Street and Hudson. It's at 1500 Hudson Street. And this was developed by Toll Brothers. Just about 100 units or so in this building. Has a 24-hour concierge. There's a fitness center here on the first floor, as well as a residence lounge. As a resident of this building, you also have access to the amenities. in 1450 Washington and 1400 Hudson Street, which were also developed by Toll Brothers. They are all part of the same condo association, so you have access to the outdoor pool at 1400 Hudson, the residence lounge there as well. And this has sold, this loft. You have 13-foot ceilings here. As I mentioned, developed by Toll Brothers. This unit also had a partial view of New York. And this has sold for $1,625,000 at the Harborside Lofts, 1500 Garden Street, Unit 9E. In downtown Jersey City, over at Liberty Terrace, 25 Hudson Street, Unit 512, you had a 1-bed, 1-bath, 920 square feet. This listed for $847,000. It sold for $840,000. 21 days in the market. Also came with parking for 1 car. The 1-bedrooms in this building face on the north side of the building, so it looks towards Liberty Towers across the street here, and that's actually where you park when you own a unit in Liberty Terrace. They were developed by the same developer, and they put the parking across the street in Liberty Towers. And this unit did have a partial view of New York City. An agent on my team actually represented the buyer of this property. The building has a 24-hour concierge, on-site fitness center, located right next to the light rail and not far from Exchange Place Path. And that's sold for $840,000 over at Liberty Terrace. I previously mentioned 10 Provost, the unit that was under contract. Here's one that's sold. This is 10 Provost Street, 1001, 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,015 square feet. List price was $1,150,000. It sold for $1,105,000. Also came with parking for 1 car. So this one sold under asking. $24-hour concierge building, on-site fitness center, large level amenities, sky lounge. They have another residence lounge in the building, business center area, a big, large fitness center, and they also have an outdoor pool here. And this is the building that was developed by Toll Brothers, located in the Powerhouse Arts District, not far from Grove Street Path. And that has sold over at 10 Provost for $1,105,000. 77 Hudson Street in downtown Jersey City. Another building that was developed by K. Ovnanian around 2006. Here you have unit 2803, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,510 square feet, on the market 14 days. List price was $2,100,000. It sold for $2,050,000 on the market for 2 weeks. So 77 Hudson Street, located in the Exchange Place section. Building's about 44 stories tall or so. Has studio layouts, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. There's some people that combine units in this building. Located right next to 99 Hudson, which is the tallest building in the Jersey City skyline, and right behind the Goldman Sachs Tower. So you have full floor-to-ceiling windows here, steel and concrete construction. And this 3-bedroom line is actually on the northeast side of the building. So you have views of Manhattan, and you're also on the north side looking towards 99 Hudson, which is the building just north of it. Building has 24-hour concierge, outdoor pool, fitness center, large residence lounge area, movie theater, screening room, very large fitness center. They have a game room there. So again, a very large amenity-driven building over in Exchange Place. And this is sold at 77 Hudson, unit 2803 for $2,050,000. There was also a studio that sold there. Here it is. Unit 1813, 561 square foot studio. It sold for $550,000, listed for $585,000, sold for $550,000, on the market 20 days. So here's a studio example. And this unit faces west. So this looks towards the west tower, which is 70 Green Street. You can only rent in the western tower. The two buildings were built at the same time. However, the west tower is an exclusive rental building. The east tower, 77 Hudson, is a condominium building. The only thing that the two buildings share is the outdoor pool. Everything else is separate. So here you have a western-facing studio selling for $550,000 at 77 Hudson Street. And finally, a little further north, over at 9 Ave at Port Imperial, 9 on the Hudson in West New York, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1620 square feet. This listed for $1,595,000. It sold for $1,550,000 cash purchase, on the market 57 days. So this was a 3-bedroom on the courtyard of the building. This building was developed by K. Avnanian around 2018. It's basically a courtyard U-shaped building. You have 2 towers basically that make up the building. Again, amenity-driven building, outdoor pool, large fitness center, 24-hour concierge. They have a rooftop deck area with a barbecue area. They have another rooftop area as well. So several common outdoor spaces. Some of the units do come with private outdoor space and large terraces. And this particular unit was on the courtyard of the building. And it also had this large terrace here. And that has sold at 9 on the Hudson for $1,550,000, on the market for 57 days. It also was a cash purchase. Oops, that logged me out. We'll go into the market snapshot. In the past week, you can check out the available properties for sale as of July 7th, the inventory levels in the past week in downtown Jersey City, throughout the whole waterfront communities, what they were like this week versus last week. Also under contract, how many properties are currently under contract in the past month in the various markets. And you can calculate the absorption rates, so the pace at which each market is selling. When you're at less than 6 months, you're trending towards a seller's market. When you're greater than 6 months, you're moving towards a buyer's market. So you can see here the inventory levels. Weehawken supply went up a little bit. We're at 8. We have 6 months of supply in Weehawken, so it's kind of a balanced market between buyers and sellers. But other areas like Hoboken is in a seller's market, very low supply there. So you can check that out. Also, year to date, how many properties have sold in the various communities. And at the end of the year, I'll do a comparison to what it was like last year or the previous year, so we can get a gauge on the market and sales. But you can check this out. This will be linked down below on YouTube. Also, the big news story in the past week, end of June, the governor signed into law a change to the mansion tax, as it was called. So previously in New Jersey, when a property sold over $1 million, a buyer had to pay a mansion tax to the state of New Jersey, which was equal to 1% of the sales price. So it sold for $1 million, it would be $10,000 to the state at closing. $2 million was $20,000, etc. Well, now New Jersey changed the law, so now the seller pays the mansion tax when they sell a property, and the fee is scaled. So it's based on the sales price. So it goes up as the price goes up. I'll link this down below on YouTube. You could download this flyer that explains and goes over the scaling of the prices and the different price points at where the percentage changes. So between $1 million and $2 million, it's 1% paid by the seller. Between $2 million and $2.5 million, it's 2%. 2.5 to 3, it would be 2.5%. 3 to 3.5 million, it would be 3% of the sales price paid at closing by the seller, and over 3.5 million would be 3.5% paid by the seller at closing. So this is the mansion tax is now imposed on the seller. Previously, it was 1% imposed on the buyer. So that has moved now to the seller's responsibility. And I'll link this down below. You can download this on YouTube and check it out. These videos come out every Monday discussing the Hudson County real estate market. All the buildings I discussed will be linked down below, as well as the stats and the document I just went over regarding the mansion tax. But as I mentioned, these videos come out every Monday. Feel free to comment, like, or subscribe down below. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me anytime at walter@livingonthehudson.com or at 347-448-3766. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.